Good morning. Okay, so this is kind of a weird little first unit. It's not even, I don't know, it's like an introduction type thing. Basic things that you need to know about AP. And I'm sorry, I have a dog on my lap. And like stuff you should already know, like basic geography. So these are your notes, okay? Now listen. Normally, my notes look like an outline, okay? And normally, you need to copy them. Yes, copy them into your notes, okay? But this right here is kind of weird, and I wouldn't copy these. If you want to make some notes, cool. But honestly, I think if you just remember where this information is, this AP information, you'll be okay. This test information is also in the yearly resources. Okay. Let me make a note of that just in case I haven't done that. I think I have AP info yearly. But that way, in case I haven't done that, I have a dog on my lap, you guys. That way, in case I haven't done that, I'll go back and double check. And then it'll be there when you're watching this. Freya, do you want down? Excuse me for a moment. My children. Okay. So I'm actually going to talk about, ignore page one right now. Okay. I'm actually going to talk about the other pages first. Page 1 and 2. Here, let me do this. That way you can see page 2 and 3 at the same time. Because honestly, page 2 and 3, it's really the same kind of information. It's all the same stuff. It's just given to you in different ways, based on however, I don't know, you like to learn best or whatever. I am very visual. So all of this up here, this like paragraph stuff, I'm like, rah, 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 rah. Okay. I personally like the table down here, which is the exact same information as up here. And I like this, which is the exact same information as this. So just kind of pick what you want, like to look at. Okay. Because it's all the same information. This or the tables or this. It's all like laid out and it looks all nice and pretty. And yeah. So just decide. But let me make this big. And we need to talk about this because you have an AP test this year. The entire purpose of AP is to get your college credit. I mean, yes, it's deeper knowledge. Yeah, I mean, yes, okay. But really the point is to get your college credit for world history. That way you don't have to take it in college because you took it in high school and you got your credit. Okay, here's a quick rundown of the AP test. You will get so much more detail throughout the year. Okie dokie. Okay. And a lot of you guys, let me say this too. A lot of you guys took the AP test last year in geography. Okay. Annoyingly enough, every AP test is different. You're like, I already know. I understand all of it. Every AP test is different. It makes it annoying. Okay. The AP test is scored. Where are we? With a number. A 1, 2, 3, 4, or a 5. I've had several 3s. I've had several 4s. Most of my kids, like the majority of everybody, but most of my kids are in the 2 area. I've had 0 5s, you guys. Can we have a 5 this year? That'd be really cool. That being said, if you get a 1 on the AP test, their official definition or whatever you want to say is that you are not recommended. You're like, not recommended for what? For AP credit. You're still going to get credit for the class. Don't freak out. This class. You will not get your college credit. When you're in college, you'll still have to take AP World History again. Okie dokie. Although I think in college it's not called World History, it's called Ancient Civ, Ancient Civilizations, and Modern Civ. It's still the same thing. Okay, that's what that means. If you want to think of it like getting a 50, okay, that's fine. Okay, it's not really what that means, but it means you don't know your history and you don't know how to deep think. That's what a 1 means. A 1 is not good. You're like, I just got a 1 on the geography test. It's okay. Guys, y'all are 15 and you took an AP test last year as a 15-year-old. These tests are written for 20-year-olds. You're taking these tests when you're 15. That's like a 10-year-old taking a calculus test. Okay? That's awesome if you take it. If you get a 1, okay, it's all right. It means you know how to work better now. Okay? If you get a 2 on the AP test, it means you might be good enough to get your college credit, but not quite. Okay, listen. It does not mean you failed. A 2 is good. You don't get your college credit. But what it means is that you know your history. What you don't know how to do well enough is analyze, deep thinking, deep enough. You have to go deep on the AP test. You can't just say, William the Conqueror was a really cool king because he's the first official king of England and he was French. What makes him cool? That he was French? That he was the first king of England? Why does that make him cool? You have to explain. Guys, I'm going to say this all year long. History is not names, dates, and facts. History is names, dates, theories, and opinions. And you have to back up those theories and opinions with facts. No college historian cares that you can rattle off a bunch of dates. They're like, oh, he's smart. Okay. You can be the smartest person in the world, but if you can't analyze that stuff, if those dates don't, what's the word? What's the word? Not compare, not fit into the story, the greater story of world history, then it doesn't matter what you know. Guys, I have to do trainings in the summer. Teachers don't just sit on their butts in the summer. I'm going to tell you all year to not generalize, and I just did. Some teachers don't sit on their butts in the summer. How's that? I have to do trainings. AP teachers have to. That isn't a generalization. That's true. And I just spent 2 weeks in a training, all virtual. We had a guy talk to us who is a admissions counselor to Princeton. And he told us, kids often think that getting a 2 isn't okay. And so they're like, I didn't get a 2. You should be proud of your 2. If you get a 2, did you get college credit? No, you did not. But you know your history. The only thing that you didn't do deep enough is analyze and deep think. All right? A 3. If you get a 3, I've had a lot of 3s. If you get a 3, that means you know your history and you know how to analyze. Deep think on a basic level. You can do it. You can. Remember? You're 15 years old. So if you get a 3 on a test that's written for a 20-year-old, amazing! A whole lot of y'all are used to getting hundreds on everything. And a 3 in your mind is like, that's a C. I'm not stupid, miss. This is an A. This is a B. Oh, what did I just do? And a 3 is a C. Don't think about it that way. Whoa, it didn't undo it. Hold on, let me undo so I can fix my page. There we go. That's not true. A 3 means you know your history and you know how to analyze on a base level. Okay? Then, if you get a 4, I've had several 4s also. It means you know your history and you can analyze not on a base level. You can analyze like a 20-year-old. And then if you get a 5, that means you know your history and you don't even need to be in college. Why are you here? Get your credit and go. Yeah. So don't look at these like grades with 100, a 90, an 80, a 70. Don't do that to yourself. I had kids this last year when scores came out and they wrote me and they were like, I thought I did so much better than a 3. Are you kidding me? You got a 3. You got college credit on a test that is written for a 20-year-old. That's amazing. Of course, I want you to shoot for a 5 and a 4. Yeah. But we're shooting for a 3. Okay? Because a test that is written for a 20-year-old, I have to teach you this year history, obviously, and how to deep think analyze. You're like, I know how to analyze. Are you sure? At a college level, are you sure? Because that's where most of you guys are going to struggle. And I don't mean struggle like I can't do it. I mean struggle like, oh, it isn't just memorizing facts. It's not. If you can memorize facts, awesome. So these are the grades that you'll get. Okay? I'm going to come here. Guys, again, this information right here is the exact same thing as this. I like the tables better. So I'm going to look at the tables. If you like to read, then come up here and do this. Okay? Same information, just provided different ways. The way the AP test is actually laid out, it's right here. You will have 55 multiple choice questions. Okay? And you have 55 minutes to do it. And it's worth 40%. That means one question a minute. You're like, I got this. Who was Abraham Lincoln? A, B, C, D. Boom. That's not what the questions are going to look like. Every single multiple choice question has what's called a stimulus. That means every question has a quote, a reading, a map, a picture, something for you to look at and analyze. 55 questions worth 40%. Then you have 3 short answer questions. You have 40 minutes to do them. 2 of them, I believe, will have stimuli. I believe 2 or 1. I don't remember. It's either 1 or 2 that have a stimulus of some kind. That means, again, you are looking at a map and answering a question, or you will have a picture of, I don't know, something, and you're answering the question based on the picture. Again, it's all analyzation. Honestly, I'm not overly worried about the short answer. I honestly think that's probably the easiest part of the test. We'll deal with it, obviously, but I focus more on this. The DBQ, document based question, is the monster of the test. Okay. The DBQ, document based question, is one question. To what extent did attitudes change after World War II concerning atomic weapons? You're like, I know, I got this answer. You have to use the documents that they're going to provide you. It is a document based question. If all you do is give me information that you learned in class, you're not going to get this question. You have to use the documents. That's the hardest one. That's the beast. Don't worry about it. We're going to start analyzing documents. Not this week, next week. I don't think this week, next week. Quickly, I start doing that quickly. I start teaching you how to analyze immediately. Because again, this test is not regurgitating facts. Nobody cares if you know that the Battle of Hastings was in 1066. So, well, it matters to me because I'm a historian. But does the rest of the world matter? No. What's the big deal? It's the beginning of modern England. And since William the Conqueror was French, England and France are now one big empire. Wait, what? We'll get there. So it's not the names, dates, and facts that matter. It's how everything connects. That's the word I was trying to remember earlier. Connects. It's how everything connects in history, and everything does. I promise you, stuff that we're going to talk about this year, happening in 1066, still affects today. Yepers. Absolutely. Okay. The last part of the test is the LEQ, long essay question. It's just an essay. You have, oh, it's smaller. You have 40 minutes to do it, and it's just one question. The LEQ doesn't have any stimulus. It just says, to what extent were attitudes changed after World War II concerning atomic weapons? There's no stimulus, so you just answer what you know. The LEQ does test your knowledge. The document-based question tests how well you can look at a document and analyze it. Okay? Okay, I want you to look at the numbers. The multiple choice is worth 40%. Okay? Which means 60% of this test is writing. Every year from my kids, I hear the same thing. Miss, we write more in this class than we do in English. I know. I know. Even my EAS kids do. That's pre-AP. Even my EAS kids write. Because that's what historians do. See, when you're in college, you're working on your career. Even if you're doing your basics. I had to take some of the dumbest basics ever that I will never use. How to teach elementary math. That was one of my basics for math. Have I ever used it? No. You still have to take it though. You're still going to have World Civ classes. And when you're in a history class in college, you're learning how to be a historian. That's what you're doing. I did not go to school to be a teacher. I went to school to be a historian. And that's what I was taught how to do. History classes shouldn't really just be names, dates, and facts. They should be teaching you how to analyze and teaching you how to be a historian. Well, historians write. Look at this test. 60% of this test is writing. Not the mechanics so much of writing, but writing, essays. Okay, so we do a lot of writing in here. Sorry, although I'm really not, but sorry. The topics and the percentages that will be on the test right here. Okay, the AP class is divided into 4-year periods. Okay, 1200 to 1450, 1450 to 1750, 1750 to 1900, and then 1900 to now. Those units are huge. So I have actually cut down these units into smaller sections. The AP calls the first unit the Global Tapestry. What a weird name. That's just early medieval kingdoms. It's going to be our units 1 and 2 in this class. No, 2 and 3. Sorry, because technically this is unit 1. Then here we have trade, networks of exchange, trade. How are all of these kingdoms trading with each other? Guys, the name of the game in history is trade and diffusion and all that stuff. It is. All right, look at the percentages. This first time period is only going to be 8 to 10%. You're going to have roughly 8 to 10% from this unit and roughly 8 to 10% from this. So I guess 20 of the whole test. Okay. Then the next big time period, and it is a biggie. There's a lot going on in this time period. Whew, a whole lot. I have divided this. AP, College Board, divides it into 2 smaller units. I think that's huge. So I personally have divided it into smaller sections. We will deal with land-based empires whenever I deal with the Renaissance period. We will deal with transoceanic interconnections. That's the period of exploration. That's Columbus and the conquistadors and all that. Okay. And if you look, this time period right here, is worth more. Not worth more. It's going to be on the test more, 12 to 15%. Okay. The same is true of these time periods, 1750 to 1900. Okay. We have the revolutions. Oh my gosh, every single place in the world is going to revolt. And we started, us, US, and then like everybody follows. It's just like dominoes. So we'll deal with that unit. And then we have a massive unit, Industrial Revolution and Imperialism. Okay, if you look, these 2 sections right here, that's the majority of the test, the AP test. Okay, so that's going to be honestly the majority of what we deal with this year. Then 1900 to now, you have the global conflicts. That's the world wars mostly. All right. And then down here, you have the Cold War and decolonization, the Cold War, communism and all that. And then here is globalization, the modern world. Again, look, 1900 to present is only going to be 8 to 10% from those sections. All right. So the majority of this class is right here. And you're like, an entire year on 500 years? Guys, in college, I had entire semesters. The French Revolution. Oh, that was one of my favorite classes. I had an entire semester dealing with the year 1789 to 1814, and that's it. I suck at math so much. 1789 to 1814 is like 25 years, right? Right? So anyway, I had a whole semester. So yes, we'll be stuck in these 2 time periods most of the year. This class is weird in that it just starts with the year 1200. It's called AP Modern. Or I'm sorry, AP World History Modern. Supposedly they're going to get an ancient class going, but it doesn't exist yet. I really hope it does, though. I want to teach it eventually. Wouldn't that be cool to take this class when you're a sophomore and then you liked it so much and then it's available when you're a senior to do ancient? That'd be cool, right? It'd be backwards, but that's okay. So, anyway, fingers crossed. We'll see if it happens. To get some of the history before the year 1200, I start a little bit before that. Because otherwise, you don't have any context at all. 1200, guys, is the middle of the medieval period. The medieval period starts around the year 500. So 1200 is just the middle, like it's the very end of the Gothic period. Like what? We just start in the middle? So I will back up a little bit. There are some things like William the Conqueror, 1066, that I personally think are important enough that we have to talk about. Otherwise, the 100 Years' War makes no sense to you. Why are France and England separating? Well, because William the Conqueror joined them together 400 years before. So there has to be some stuff, especially in these two units right here, that we will deal with from before 1200, because otherwise you have no context. And then the class just starts and you're like, what? Okay. Okay. This information right here, it's the exact same thing as what I just went over. Look, multiple choice, 55 minutes, 55 questions. Okay. All this, short answer, DBQ, long essay, it's all the same. Every single thing that we do in AP is leading up to that AP test. Guys, I hate the mindset of teaching to a test. Ugh, grosses me out. And you kind of can't do that with an AP test. It's like the STAR test. We don't know what's going to be on the AP test. I have the lists of stuff right here that they tell me to focus on. Okay. But I have no idea what's going to be on here. On the test, I should say. So you can't really teach to the test. However, writing is 60% of this bad boy. If you can get half of the multiple choice right and ace your writing because you're a deep thinker, you got a 3. You got a 3. You, quote unquote, passed. I have to teach you how to write. I have to. Everything for, I'm a soccer girl, a soccer player, leads up to the World Cup. Everything for a football player leads up to the Super Bowl. Band, choir, orchestra, theater kids, everything you do, and even robotics, y'all do this too, right? UIL, everybody does UIL, don't they? Everything you do leads up to your UIL contest. Everything we did. My spring semester in choir when I was a kid in choir, everything was leading up to UIL. Everything. The AP test is your UIL competition. The AP test is your Super Bowl game. The AP test is your World Cup. Don't you want to raise that trophy? Don't you want that Super Bowl ring? Don't you want that one on everything, guys? Not on this test. I mean for UIL competitions. Yeah. May 10th, I believe. Yes, I had to double check. May 10th is right now when the AP test World History is scheduled. You're like, wait a minute, that's not the end of the school year. I know. We don't really have all year to get everything done. I do my best. I'll be honest with you. I have never gotten to this. That girl. I know. But I think if you know how to analyze and you get a question over globalization, hello, you live in that time period, then I think you can probably figure out the answer. So I don't worry about it as much, but I definitely want to get through the other ones. Okay. Um, Before the AP test. If we have to, oops, sorry, if we have to do some globalization after the AP test, okay, it is what it is. Um, but May 10th, man, that is your Super Bowl. That is your World Cup. That is your AP test, guys. May 10th. Right now, you know what you should do? Right now, you should go into your calendar and you should go all the way to May 10th. You should go right now, all the way, May 10th. Dun, 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 dun. I'm doing it. March, April, May. And right now, you should put AP test. Don't just sit here and watch me do it. Do it. That's what college kids would do. And you're a college kid now. Isn't that cool? You're 15 and you're a college kid. But now you gotta pass the class. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna stop there. And I will deal with this tomorrow. Bye. See you later.